The contemporary world has come so far from the days of old. Gone are the times where essential goods had to be produced by manual labor, and instead, in the modern times, technological advancements have enabled us to enjoy a life of ease, comfort, and convenience. However, this also comes at a cost. As Romano Guardini puts it in his book, The End of the Modern World, humanity's search for progress and worldly things has led it to a downward spiral. That unprecedented progress has led men to a divorce from timeless and noble pursuits. Now, there are three main reasons for this occurrence. The first one is that there's a heavier emphasis on technological over spiritual development, where human focus shifts from values and morality to practicality. The advent of the modern age has led society to pour in more resources, time, and effort into further advancing technological developments, instead of cultivating the self and aiming to attain higher spiritual values. The second is man's alienation from nature, where technological progress has led man to adopt a domineering attitude towards the world, wherein instead of accepting their natural limitations, man seeks to dominate nature and defy its core principles one step at a time. The third one is that there is a radical cultural shift, wherein society views things like religion as trivial. This occurs when there is a transformation of social and ideal norms, where instead of a society based on religion and faith, society itself conditions man to be pragmatic and pursue worldly things, to focus on the practical, not the ideal. However, other thinkers would beg to differ regarding the previously mentioned points. A point of objection one could then raise pertaining to the first argument presented is that man has always had a disposition for valuing practicality regardless if man is religious or not. Such a disposition has always been an intrinsic part of human nature itself. For much of human history, mankind has always found ways to adapt to various challenges, and religion is one of these ways, and such a way, like many before it, may also come and go. On the second point presented, the attitude of humanity to seek dominion over nature and its core principles, as well as the earth in general, is not something novel, since it is something intrinsically tied with the human condition and progress. This attitude is not due to a divorce from religion, but rather something that is already predetermined. On the third point, wherein social decline is posited as being caused by society viewing religion as something that is trivial, is not necessarily true. Atheistic countries like Sweden has been very successful in terms of their economy and the well-being of its citizens. However, ultra-religious countries like Romania and Belarus experience much social decline and general unhappiness among its population. To address the first objection presented, it is indeed true that religion, like many other implements of man, is designed to deal with something. However, unlike other implements, the concept of a religion is irreplaceable, since it deals with something intrinsic which cannot be examined through other means. By having religion, man's focus is then redirected from the sole focus of attaining the practical, like what animals do, and instead also focus on what's noble and worthy. To the second point, while it is indeed true that man is preconditioned with a domineering attitude towards the world, however, the problem lies within the lack of a counterbalance towards this attitude. Due to the abandonment of religion by mankind, man is no longer able to discern whether or not his attitude towards nature is ethical, This domineering attitude must be checked by a moral conscience fostered through religion and spirituality. Finally, on the third point presented, it is worth noting that Sweden's laws and norms are heavily influenced by Christian doctrine, because Sweden was a Christian country in the past for over a millennia. Therefore, religion's influence on the country's success cannot be denied. On the other hand, countries like Romania and Bulgaria were for the past 60 years under atheistic communist rule, hence, its effects can still be felt to this day. In conclusion, while modern advancements have undoubtedly brought convenience and comfort, they have also led to a shift away from spiritual and moral considerations. Romano Guardini's concern about unchecked technological development highlights the need for a balance between technological advancement and the cultivation of higher values. Though some argue that humanity's pragmatic disposition and the drive for dominion over nature are intrinsic, the absence of a moral conscience traditionally provided by religion risks pushing society into a moral and existential crisis.